Hello, welcome students. Very good afternoon. This time I am Sonu sir with your review of chapter 2 class 8 SST. Students, just in the previous video we have discussed and studied about carnatic wars, this carnatic regions of Tamil Nadu coastal region, and in that we studied about first carnatic wars and second carnatic wars in previous video. Now we are going to discuss about third carnatic wars. So as we know, the carnatic war was fought mostly between French and British. French, if we see this third war, the third carnatic war was fought between 1756 to 1763. This 7 years, which was war in Europe, in these two countries or different countries. Some countries were supporter of French and some countries were supporter of British in Europe, and that war continues up to India. We have to see. So that time, 7 years, they had conflict with each other. So that conflict shows that result in India also. And if we see in India, British captured French territory of Chandranagar. In previous video we have seen Chandranagar is located in West Bengal of modern time. So Chandranagar was the French territory previously, but British captured French territory of Chandranagar in the Carnatic third wars of Carnatic. And what happened then? If British captured the French territory of Chandranagar, then French captured the territory of British, Fort St. David of Chennai, Tamil Nadu. So they captured each other's territory, and then the battle was there. Battle of Valmy was in there. British defeated French, reclaimed St. David. So they captured each other's territory. British captured French territory of Chandranagar, which is in West Bengal. So in revenge, French captured Fort St. David of Chennai, Tamil Nadu, and then the Battle of Valmy was occurred there. In that, British defeated French and reclaimed St. David. So if we see, the British were more powerful in behalf of French, and if we see in compare of French. And after these wars, there was a treaty in Paris, in Europe, in the capital of France. So what was the treaty? Chandranagar and Pondicherry returned to the French, because these both territories were of French. So after the Treaty of Paris, British had to return those both territories of Pondicherry and Chandranagar to the French. Then what happens? So what was the effect of Carnatic wars? Although British returned that territory, Chandranagar and Pondicherry, to the French, but after the pass of some time, British captured more and more rule of there, and French lost their power in the hands of British. And if we see the effect of Third Carnatic War, we see that the Carnatic War established British supremacy among the European traders. So all European traders of Portuguese or Dutch or French or British or any of country started depend on the trade powers of British. And if we see, the French were restricted to their territories of Pondicherry, Mahe, Yanam and Karaikal. So these all territories were of French, but they restricted from British side, and they were not allowed to make their companies there. They were only allowed to having trading posts, but they were not allowed to administer their trading post or administer their business from there. They were only allowed to make their trading post in their regime. If we see the effects of Carnatic wars, that what happened there. So the British reigned supreme and controlled the mercantile trade of India. In previous video, we discussed about mercantile. They purchased more and more product in less rate from our country and sold more and more product in export in country of Europe in high prices. This is mercantile, and that mercantile business captured by British after the defeat of French, and British dominated French in all kind of business. So if we see the effect of Carnatic Wars, which was in fight from 20 years, takes end in the win of British, and after that we see that the supreme power of British established in that regime, Carnatic regime, and after that effects we see that the expansion of British power emerged and started after the Carnatic Wars. The British monopolized trade in India. Then when British recognized themselves that they are having monopoly of Indian trade, they monopolized their policy and trade in India. They acquired two farmans who were orders from Mughal rulers Aurangzeb and Farrukhsiyar in 1691 and in 1770 respectively. And according to Farman of Aurangzeb, the company exempted from paying custom duties in Bengal. So if we see the last ruler of Mughal era was Aurangzeb in 1707. After the reign of Aurangzeb, the Farrukhsiyar was ruler. If we see, Bengal was the biggest state of that time, and it was the center of rule. So company started and exempted the taxes in Bengal, and custom taxes in Bengal, custom duties in Bengal. Farrukhsiyar Farman exempted the British from paying custom duties in Gujarat and Deccan. Farrukhsiyar was ruler of Gujarat and Deccan. He also exempted his tax by force of British. And what happens then? They bribed officials and took over 3 villages in Bengal. The British misused the Farmans to expand their territories and wage war against the Indian rulers. The British began by conquering Bengal, followed by the conquest of Mysore and kingdom of the Marathas. So what British did? British take more and more taxes on the products from India, and they levied more and more custom duties and taxes on the state like Bengal, Gujarat and Marathas. And by that leviation and burden, these states started losing their commands on economy, and by the time passing, they started conquering that states like Bengal, Gujarat and Maharashtra of modern time. So firstly, what they did, British levied more and more custom duties on state products, and by that state's economy collapsed and failed to survive that market. And if they collapsed and become bankrupted, so after that British captured that area by economical force, that they were not able to pay their custom duties. So in that series we see British started capturing states. Firstly they captured Bengal, and issue were there also the leviation of taxes of custom duties. You see the conquest of Bengal, the territory of Bengal consists of Bengal, Bihar, Odisha, present day. If we see the map of present day Bihar, Odisha and Bengal, it was all in all Bengal. So the British built their first factory in Hooghly, Kolkata, which later became a fortified settlement. They bribed officials and took over 3 villages in Bengal along with their zamindari rights. So they have some zamindari rights, and by that they bribed some villages. They took some villages cunningly, and they also started collecting revenue from these villages, and they captured 3 villages by their own zamindari rights and system, and they also started collecting revenue from these villages. The British also refused to pay duty for the private trade that was carried out by the British officials in Bengal. So what the British officials wanted to do business in Bengal, they deducted all taxes that they had no pay any taxes, and they increased the taxes and customs duties on Indian traders by that economical power grew by them. So if we see, they also started collecting revenue from these villages. The British also refused to pay due to the private trade that was carried out by the British officials in Bengal. Their refusal to do so caused an enormous loss of revenue to Bengal. The British also started selling dastaks, which were free passes given to the traders of the company, exempting them from paying custom duties. The Bengal ruler Siraj-ud-Dowla thus refused to give concessions to the company. He also asked for the removal of all the British fortifications in Kolkata. So British started their cunningness. They started levying more and more taxes and custom duties on the Indian traders. They exempted more and more, but they decreased or declined their taxes or trade passes which were allowed to them and which were levied on them, had to pay some money and all. So they deducted their or decreased or reduced their all taxes or duties which they had to pay, and increased the taxes and customs which Indian trader has to pay. And by this, the ruler of Bengal, Siraj-ud-Dowla, became opposed and angered, and he refused to give concessions to the company. He also asked for the removal of all the British fortifications in Calcutta. So he angered that time, and he wanted that all the fortifications, all the buildings and all the rules which has Kolkata has established from British has to decline or has to reject it. And he also refused the concessions which already was given by the Bengal government to the British government. And by that, as you know, the British started capturing forcefully the state of Bengal, and in that, Battle of Plassey emerged in 1757. As we know, Siraj-ud-Dowla was against all this British policy of the tax levied by them, and he started war and opposed of them, and by that the War of Plassey occurred. So students, today we read about Third Carnatic War, the effects of that Carnatic War, that French lost their power in the hand of British, and after the Treaty of Andivas, British defeated, after the Battle of Andivas, British defeated French in reclaimed Saint David, but after the Treaty of Paris, Chandranagar Pondicherry returned to the British, but after some time British captured more and more power in South region, and after some time they started to capture different states like Bengal, Marathas and Gujarat, and they sent some farmans that the tax were more and more which of Indian traders, and they decreased the taxes which were of British traders, and by that Siraj-ud-Dowla got angered and he started conflict or war against British, and by that Battle of Plassey started. So students, if we see of today, we read about Third Carnatic Wars, effect of Carnatic Wars, and the conquest of Bengal. So in next video, we will further discuss about Battle of Plassey, what was exactly happened that time, that Siraj-ud-Dowla has to give his regime in the hand of Robert Clive. So this all topic we will discuss in next video, students. In homework, you have to write a short note on conquest of Bengal and effects of Carnatic Wars. Okay? And as usually I have been told that when you read SST or when you read about the rulers and regime of SST, you have to make and have to show that regime on the map of modern India. Students, this will be very helpful for your study. Students, till then, have a nice day, take care. We will meet again in next video. Thank you.